Well, it looks like Arsenal are finally solving that striker issue in the form of Benjamin Sesko. Nothing done yet, but all the reputable online sources are reporting that Leipzig and the Gunners are in heavy talks for him. Better late than never, Arsenal. Arteta's run out of forward players he's worked with previously to get into the club, so they might actually have to sign someone that's, good. This feels like the most crucial part of the jigsaw to the Arteta project with Arsenal. This is the signing that cannot fail, because then the pressure falls on him huge time. All I have heard is Arsenal Twitter nutjobs going on about XG and how Arsenal beat PSG twice over XG and they've just won the Champions League, which, look, everyone is entitled to an opinion. Me know more than anyone else and you know more than me. But if you're claiming the XG stance as some kind of victory for why this Arteta project is near enough at completion or for why there is no criticism for Arteta, then you probably need to touch grass. Arteta, as we know, has a strong hand in recruitment, of who comes in, who leaves, and you have to think he's on board with this signing. Does it transform Arsenal, though? Well, listen in. Now, the thing that you'll notice instantly about Sesko, tall. Very tall boy. 6'5", handsome, a dream catch, built well too, nice body, lovely family, dresses in nice clothes, lives in a nice neighbourhood, goes out to really nice restaurants and drinks the finest wines, but enough about me. Uses his frame and physicality with his back to goal play and holding off of his markers, keeping them behind him. He's a hard player to contend with when he's keeping you separated from the ball because he's just so well balanced. And when he needs to, he springs off of his marker to create a nice bit of separation to get control of the ball. He uses the marker to his advantage. It's very un-Rasmus Højlund-like, who does the exact opposite. The issue is, with him in these circumstances, his first touch is either immaculate or a throw-in, and there's no in-between. He can take the ball on the half-turn fantastically to face goal and drive with the ball, and he is a very capable ball carrier, deceptively quick with his size, and once he reaches top speed, he's an absolute force of nature. But as with guys his size generally, he doesn't accelerate amazingly quickly, but once he's got that space to drive, he's a defender's nightmare with his top speed, and he can get right to the heart of an opponent's shape. Other times, though, he's chasing his first touch halfway across the pitch, and it gives enough time for the opposition to transition defensively. His one-touch play is really good when he's looking for the ball to lay it off to an overlapping or underlapping runner. Whether these are just some of his bad touches turned passes remains to be seen, but it helps with the runners around him that he can play off of and use his physicality to his advantage to be able to create that space. When he's running with the ball or looking to link up, I think he thinks that he's better than he is, and I know that's a mean thing to say, but he comes with a bit of flair and trickery, with some really unnecessary back heels, but to be fair, he can pull it off, and it looks great, but as I've just said, it's somewhat unnecessary. The problem is, with doing it so much, is that he just looks daft when it doesn't come off, and when his game isn't defined by such things, it just makes him a target for criticism, and on a grander stage with a higher profile, that isn't going to be good. That flair carries over to when he tries to play passes, isn't afraid of trying some difficult technique to progress the ball. Again, sometimes these come off, other times just look a bit silly, especially when they kill the attack dead. He's had comparisons to Ibrahimovic, and this I think is where those comparisons come from. Big boy with the arrogance to play with flair, but that comes at a cost when you don't have the elite technical level that Ibra did. Good, not great. Now, as much as Arsenal need that transitional striker to attack directly, he isn't always the one that occupies that last line for Leipzig. It's usually a pender, with Sesko dropping in to receive the ball in deeper areas, using his physical qualities to wrestle with defenders, uses aerial dominance to knock the ball on and look for more mobile athletic runners. But when he does look in and engage with his movement to attack a backline, he can be devastating. His running power and physicality to charge in behind the defensive line and get on the end of long balls from deep is frightening. Weird as hell running style, don't know if that's a requirement from big powerful units, but it's in them, and hanging back a little bit deeper as a pender is occupying defenders is a massive part of his game, because then he can use those extra few yards to burst into the space. I wouldn't say he's got those cute little subtle movements to bamboozle defenders, but when you've got the physicality he has, you can afford to engage in the physical battle and gain yards that way. It's the same as when he gets in the box. When he sees space, he attacks it, charging into it like he's a Slovenian flash to get on the end of crosses or passes through, and that is exactly what Arsenal need. My biggest problem, he doesn't do it anywhere near enough. I love the flair, I love the arrogance when he drops deep, but he should be a defender's nightmare. He carries more than enough of a threat to occupy two centre-backs at once and offer his team an outlet that they need, or create space for other wide runners. His finishing is also very raw, still a bit hit and miss, still not completely refined in his ball striking, doesn't create the necessary separation to find angles to get his shot away, just a very head down and strike it with power, which still makes him a little bit of an unreliable goal scorer. He's almost Liam Delap with flair. Where he does have an advantage, though, is he has a lovely range of finishes with his technique, capable of scoring from range and difficult angles. So if he can just refine those small details, he could be deadly, and the numbers could go crazy. Also fits the Arteta style with his pressing and defensive work. Fantastically aggressive, launching into presses to win the ball back higher up, and with his physicality, he's near enough impossible to contend with when he duels. Disciplined in the mid to low block as well, cutting off passing lanes to prevent attacks from progressing. And it's the one thing you never really have to worry about with these Red Bull players, is their defensive and pressing qualities. They are developed and honed in on expertly and will serve as an asset to a buying team. A high-ceiling player, though, if Arsenal are willing to live with him a little bit to develop his game properly. He's still young, of course, but Arsenal need to win now, which is why I maybe thought that Gyökeres was their guy. But I'd love to know what you guys think. Cheers, lads. In a bit.